Halo Infinite's vehicles need a lot of work. Some vehicles are very good on Halo Infinite, but for the most part, a lot of them are very underwhelming, and there's some key mechanics that really need to be revisited, reworked, and looked at because they just don't work. When I told you guys this would be my next upcoming video, there was a lot of interest, and you guys gave a lot of feedback, very similar to how I feel. So I'm going to go through every vehicle, give my thoughts on it, and how I would personally fix the vehicle. So let's start with the Banshee. Now the Banshee is probably the worst Halo Banshee in the entire Halo series. When you compare it to the Wasp is a monster. It can obliterate everyone, you can get a Killionaire in it, no problem. The Banshee, however, you touch a wall, it'll blow up. Takes 2 sniper rifle bullets to kill it, it's very awkward to use, and frankly, it's a death trap to even get into one. It takes so little damage that if you run into 2 or 3 walls, that is its entire health gone. I'll have the example on screen now. The base movement speed is very quick. This is probably because the open world campaign, you need to travel very far with the Banshee, so they want the base speed to be higher. But when you put it on maps like Behemoth, Deadlock, the maps are so enclosed and small that you cover the entire map in about 2 to 3 seconds. I also feel that extends to way more than just the Banshee. I can't be the only one who thinks the vehicles on the BTB maps at the moment are very cramped and enclosed. The maps themselves are very 3 laneway, a left, a right, and a middle path. They feel smaller than the Halo 5 Warzone maps. They feel smaller than previous Halo BTB maps. I can't be the only one who thinks that. I would improve the Banshee by buffing the Banshee bomb slightly, making the plasma cannons equal to the Ghost's plasma cannons, reduce the speed slightly so it's easier to kill people on smaller maps, make it take a bit more damage, buff its health a little bit, and remove the slight bumps dealing health damage towards a vehicle. If you full on boost straight into a wall, fair enough, you should explode. But if you're just tapping walls and you're taking damage, I don't think the Banshee should blow up or take damage. Next up we have the Chopper. The Chopper is terrible. It's nothing like the Halo 3 version, can't even ram vehicles anymore and get a splatter on them. It has a lawnmower-like effect. You have to actually pin them against the wall, and then the blades as they spin do damage, and that's how you get splatter damage. It's very awkward to use. It flips on the smallest of rocks. Feels very clunky, and I would never use this vehicle either. How I would fix the Chopper is make it more stable, increase the damage of its gun very slightly, and when you ram into vehicles, increase the collision damage. So if you hit something head on, you will kill a Warthog in one go, a Mongoose in one go, and you'll actually do damage to a Wraith or a Scorpion. Back in Halo 3, you could actually run over a Scorpion or a Wraith with the Chopper if you boosted at the perfect time. It was very rare, but it was always awesome to see. Next up we have the Wasp. Now the Wasp is way too strong. It's kind of weird that the Banshee is so weak and the Wasp is so strong. I would make the Wasp's health slightly lower and reduce the chain gun damage very slightly. At the end of the day, even if it's not nerfed, it should be brought in line with the Banshee and they should be equal because it's the Covenant version of a flying vehicle, so they both should be equally as effective as one another. The Warthog is actually very well balanced on Halo Infinite, so is the Mongoose. They're both in really good spots, so I'm not going to cover them. 343 did a great job with the Warthog and the Mongoose. The Razorback is a lot of fun to use. Being able to attach a flag on the back of a Warthog and solo cap the flag on your own is awesome. The next really big piece of feedback I have is with the tanks. And I covered this in a previous video, that's specifically hijacking tanks. Now when you hijack a Scorpion or a Wraith, in past Halo games, you put a grenade in, you jump off, the vehicle will explode. In Halo Infinite, it takes multiple grenades. And even when you punch, say the hull area, it will destroy the vehicle, and then the player just jumps out when it hits the Doomsday health value. It feels jarring, and there's really no incentive to hijack. And it makes the mechanic redundant in the way that you don't want to do it, because it's not a guaranteed kill. How I would fix this is if you hijack a tank or a vehicle, you do 2 punches on the hull, which will take the cap off. 1 more punch will make the driver one shot, and then a 4th punch will kill the driver. Alternatively, you can plant a grenade, and that grenade should blow up the vehicle. It's kind of ironic that 343 increased how often tanks spawn in BTB, and I find myself not being able to find anything to kill all of the vehicles that spawn all the time anymore. Because all the weapon pads are random and all the grenade weapon pads are random, I don't know where anything is. I can't consistently go and get a weapon to counter the vehicle, which is a problem. And if a sniper rifle spawns as opposed to the skewer, it makes it very difficult to counter a Scorpion. especially if the Scorpion is defensive. The Scorpion stays at the back of the base, which means it's protected from hijacking. EMPing really won't work, and the Skewer takes 3 long-range shots to kill it. There's really no hope of actually defeating the Scorpion, especially when they have 11 teammates supporting it and are around it. Even if it moves up slightly, I find it very hard to kill the tank. The last thing I'd like to cover is the vehicle physics on Halo Infinite. Now, if you're in a driver's seat of a vehicle and you get hit by a rocket launcher from a friendly teammate or a gravity hammer from a friendly teammate, you don't go anywhere. I remember so many fun times where I'd either get blown up by a teammate and my debris would go flying across the map, or I'd hammer one of my friends with a gravity hammer and I'd send them flying across the map. It just doesn't work anymore, which is a real shame. The gravity hammer launch works if you're in the passenger seat, so you just go straight up. There's no way to actually send them flying across the map. So many lifelong memories for me personally have been from sending stuff flying across Halo maps, as you guys know very well. And I really feel like that's part of Halo's core identity. So that's just something to look at too. So that's going to do it, guys. The main takeaway from this video is the Banshee and the Chopper both need improvements. The Wasp is very strong, and Scorpion/Wraith hijacking needs to be reworked. That is in descending order of importance. As it stands, and I know a lot of you guys feel the same way, the Banshee and the Chopper both are basically useless at the moment. So fingers crossed that changes in time. Let me know what you think of Halo Infinite's vehicles down in the comments below, because I love reading your comments. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.